All right, let's kick things off with a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine a brand new type of processor, a single chip with abilities that honestly sound like they're pulled straight from science fiction.
So, picture this. A single central unit getting hit with hundreds, maybe even 1,000 different requests all at the exact same time. And we're not talking simple Google searches here. We're talking deeply complex, creative challenges.
Now get this processor doesn't just juggle these tasks, it masters them. It can whip up poetry on the spot, following really strict rules about meter and form. It solves complicated math problems in a flash. It can even keep track of totally random distractions, like a bell ringing unexpectedly, all while answering clever, tricky questions designed to throw it off. And here's the craziest part. It remembers every single request, every constraint, and can recall it all perfectly. So what are you thinking? This has to be the next big leap in AI, right?
Well, what if I told you that this incredible system, it's not the future of artificial intelligence at all?
It's actually a centuries-old performance art from India called Avadhanam. And that super advanced processor I was talking about? Yeah, that's a single human brain.
So what in the world is this ancient art that sounds so much like our most cutting-edge tech? Let's dive in and really unpack this living tradition of the human computer. At its very heart, Avadhanam is a mind-blowing display of mental mastery. I mean, we are talking about insane levels of observation, memory, multitasking, and creativity all firing at once. The traditional Sanskrit definition really says it all. Chittaikagriyam Avadhanam, which basically means the focusing of the mind. It's the ultimate test of applying intense, singular focus to a whole bunch of different things at the same time.
And this isn't some forgotten practice that's been recently revived. Nope. Avadhanam has super deep roots in the Sanskrit tradition of Ashukavita, which is just composing poetry completely on the fly. We have direct evidence of it from a Kannada inscription dating all the way back to the 12th century. And it's not a museum piece. It's a living, breathing art form that's still going strong today, especially in the Telugu, Kannada, and Sanskrit literary worlds.
So, how does one of these performances actually work? I mean, what does it really look like when one person goes head-to-head with the intellectual firepower of dozens or even hundreds of scholars at once? Let's take a look at the anatomy of this incredible art.
Okay, so on stage, you've got two main players. First, there's the Avadhāni. That's the performer, the single mind at the absolute center of everything. And then you have the Prichakas, the questioners. And this isn't just a couple of people. It can be a whole panel of 8, 100, or in some legendary cases, 1,000 scholars, each an expert in their own right, all there to challenge the Avadhāni. It's a truly amazing many-to-one setup.
The performance itself is broken down into two main phases. The first is called Purana, which is the composition phase. The Avadhāni goes through the questioners one by one, but, and this is the amazing part, they don't finish one task before moving to the next. They might compose just the first line of a poem for one person, then jump to another to solve part of a puzzle. They're literally building all the answers at the same time, piece by piece, over several rounds. And then comes the big finish, the dharana, or recall phase. This is where the Avadhāni has to recite every single completed work, perfectly, from memory. No notes, no nothing, it's unbelievable.
And the challenges themselves are just incredibly varied. They're designed to test every single part of the brain. It's so much more than just poetry. You've got tasks that test pure literary genius, like writing a poem where you're forbidden from using certain letters. Others are all about entertainment, like solving really complex poetic riddles. There's even a person on stage whose only job is to be a professional distractor, interrupting with totally random questions just to break the Avadhāni's focus. And on top of all that, they're solving math puzzles like magic squares on the fly. It is a genuine, full-spectrum cognitive workout.
Okay, now let's pause and think about everything we've just laid out. A single, central intelligence handling this storm of different requests, working with complex rules, and generating creative stuff on the spot. This whole many-to-one structure probably sounds surprisingly familiar, right? And that brings us right back to where we started, the modern AI parallel.
So here it is, the big idea. Modern generative AI is basically a technological echo of Avadhanam. Seriously, think about it. You have a central intelligence processing a countless number of creative and logical prompts at the same time. It's the same core concept, just blown up to a massive, totally inhuman scale.
This side-by-side comparison makes the parallels crystal clear. In Avadhanam, the performer is one person, the Avadhāni. In AI, it's a massive deep neural network. The users in Avadhanam are the Prichkas, the questioners. For AI, that's any of us on our phones or computers.
But the huge differences are in the scale and the relationship. An Avadhānaṃ might handle 1,000 tasks, which is already incredible. An AI handles millions. And while Avadhanam is a many-to-one dynamic, AI is many-to-many, millions of us all interacting with the system at once. This chart really drives that point home. I mean, look at the difference in scale. On the left, you have Avadhānaṃ, which is a performance with 8 tasks. Then you have Avadhānaṃ, a true feat of human genius with over 1,000 tasks. And then, look at the bar for generative AI. It's operating on a scale of millions of simultaneous tasks. That's a level of parallel processing that is just completely beyond what human biology can do.
So what's the big takeaway here? What do we actually learn by putting this ancient art right next to our most futuristic technology?
Well, while the function might look similar, the experience, the very soul of it, is worlds apart. This quote really nails it. You see, Avadhanam isn't just about raw processing power. It's about human qualities that an AI just can't replicate. Things like genuine creativity, spontaneity, and this concept of diarrhea, which is this deep-seated steadiness, self-control, and intellectual fire. It's a performance of character just as much as it is a performance of intellect.
So look, the point isn't to say that Silicon Valley engineers were secretly studying ancient Indian art forms. It's something way more profound. This parallel gives us a whole new way to think about what AI is actually doing. And maybe even more importantly, it's a jaw-dropping reminder of the incredible, almost unbelievable potential that's just sitting there, waiting, inside the focused human mind.
It leaves us with this really big question to chew on. Is artificial intelligence really the birth of something brand new, something the world has never seen? Or are we just building a technological reflection at a mind-boggling scale of a cognitive mastery that humans have been practicing for centuries?